Hey guys,
Hello.
welcome back to our channel. We are Spooky Sleuths. Today we are going to show you what's in our bags.
We have 3 bags to get through. Well, 2.5 kind of. So let's get started. I'm Sammy.
And I'm Nicole,
And we are Spooky Sleuths.
Bag number 1.
So this bag has a lot of our stationary cameras, and I say stationary, but they voice tracking and motion tracking on them. So we can set them up at a location, say in a basement, leave it alone, and if it hears anything or sees anything, it will move to track it down and record it. And then it notifies me on my phone so we can review the footage, and if something really cool is happening in that location, we can go up and try to investigate.
Right. Unfortunately, they do need Wi-Fi to work, so a lot of the locations that we have investigated at thus far, we weren't able to use them.
But this weekend, that's all about to change. We also have our pendulum board in here. This is kind of like a safer Ouija board, I guess.
Yeah, because we don't play the Ouija board game.
No.
Like that's not our bag. But this is supposed to, it's not like gonna let anything in that's not already present.
Yes, whatever spirits come forward, know the intention that you're putting into it. So if you're putting in good intentions, positive intentions, you're going to get good positive communication back. Next up, we have our thermal imaging camera. So what this does is it shows heat waves and heat markers. Whenever something is hot, it glows red. When something is cold, it glows blue. And then it has a trigger so we can snap a picture.
Not actually gotten anything on this yet, but it's still fun to use whenever we're investigating.
Yeah, we're hopeful.
Next up, we have our handy dandy flashlights. These 2 flashlights aren't actually used for ghost hunting. They're just like if it's dark.
Yeah.
Like this isn't going to do what we want it to do. These 2, however, are the twist mag lights, which whenever we use these, we just twist them on and off to where they are barely connected, which will allow whatever spirit is using it to contact us to be able to touch the device essentially and answer our questions with, red for no, blue for yes, etc.
We've had some really great conversations using the mag lights and some of the best evidence we've ever got.
It's so simple that it's still one of my favorite pieces of equipment that we utilize.
Right. And I have to be honest, whenever I see professional ghost hunters on TV using it or on YouTube using it, I always think they've got to be faking it, but I don't know how they would fake it because it's so sensitive. And I don't know.
Sometimes it's working so well that we go up and reset them because we're like, there's no way that it's going this well.
Yes.
Our bag within a bag that holds all of our small things. We have cat balls. Very, very beginner friendly. It's essentially you just, place them out and then whenever something touches it, it lights up blue and red and shows you someone's there.
We also have 2 voice recorders for doing EVP sessions. The thought is that spirits can communicate in ways that we can't hear with the human eye, but a recorder can pick it up.
Or the human ear.
I meant the human ear. Anyway, similar to how cameras can pick up what we can't see with the naked eye.
Or the naked ear.
Whatever.
What else is in that little bag?
We have like an extra camera battery, a phone or a charging block, and that is it.
If we didn't put those in a smaller bag, they'd just be everywhere.
We lose enough cat balls as it is.
I feel like whenever you started, you had 6.
Yep.
And now we're down to 3,
Yep.
which we will replenish before this weekend.
We have some cool accessories for them now, so hopefully we won't lose them.
Shout out to Sharp Side of Paranormal. He got us these little cat ball holders that we will be able to showcase in our next video. They are super neat. They glow in the dark.
In this pocket up here, we have batteries because spirits like to drain batteries. And we have a lot of equipment that is dependent on batteries. So if we run out, we're kind of screwed. Because typically there aren't places that sell batteries open at 3 o'clock in the morning.
When it happens. But yes,
Change.
always bring more bodies. Ooh.
Do not bring more bodies to haunted locations. They don't want them.
Always bring more batteries than you think you need.
Because you will need them.
These bags are really great. They are hard backed, so everything's protected. In the other pocket that
I just launched across the room.
we had a few other tools that after we investigated the Moonville Tunnel, we just kind of shoved in the back of the bag. We have an EMF reader. You want to explain what this does?
Yeah, so this picks up on electromagnetic field changes. So you turn it on, and it starts off at green, meaning it's not really detecting any energy. Everything's pretty normal, and this is almost dead, so we're gonna have to change the battery in it. So, and the light's not really high. But if you put it next to something like, you can see whenever I'm tapping it, it can spike, so you have to watch out for that. But if I put it next to something that has, oh, it spiked when I got near you. But when you put it next to something that has electromagnetic energy, such as if there's a lot of wires really close, like wires in this wall, for example, then this would light up. But there's not any right there, so I can't really show you. But it'll detect any changes in the electromagnetic fields, which is thought to be spirits interacting with you, or even high levels of electromagnetic fields over time are thought to kind of create these images of spirits in your brain, kind of convince you, make you paranoid, convince you that you have a haunted house when you really just have really bad wiring. So it can be good for 2 reasons. Debunking something. So if you go into a house and this thing's going crazy because of all of the electromagnetic fields in the house, but there's nothing else being caught, you might want to advise that person to have someone come out and look at their wiring. But if there's nothing like that happening and it just randomly is spiking whenever you're asking a spirit to turn it to red, you might have something there.
And then next we have our headphones that we utilize for Estes Method sessions.
And this is the spirit box that we use for our Estes Method sessions. So this has an AM and FM radio on it, and it sweeps through them at your desired rate. I usually keep it about 200. It can sweep through at your desired rate, and it'll play through the radio station. And the theory is that a spirit can pick out words to jump out at you in an effort to communicate. We've had really great conversations using this. I love the Estes method because essentially you put these headphones on and you cover your eyes, and when this is playing, you can't hear the questions that are being asked. So the responses you're getting are more genuine because if I'm doing it underneath the Estes method, I don't know what Nicole's asking, so I don't know how I'm supposed to respond, or I'm not looking for an answer that makes sense. I'm just saying what I hear.
And sometimes it is total bananas. Doesn't make any sense at all. And then other times it's
Spot on. Scary spot on.
Our next bag is a piece of equipment that we haven't gotten to use very often.
It is an SLS camera. This piece of equipment is a Windows tablet with a kinetic sensor. It uses the camera on the kinetic sensor with the kinetic technology to map out figures that we see with the naked eye. So if I put it over there and I see a stick figure pop up on this tablet, well, that's kind of scary because we record down here.
Yeah, let's not. We don't use paranormal equipment in my house.
No. But this thing is really cool whenever we have been able to use it.
I'll insert a clip here and kind of show what it does.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure whenever you're utilizing something like this that it's not just mapping out like a chair or
Right.
a dresser or something.
A doll.
Right. You just got to make sure that you're seeing what you want to see and not a mistake.
Yes, because we have had that. It picks up on chairs, but not like someone sitting in a chair, like it's the exact outline of the chair, or a doll, or just a pile of clothing. Like we've seen it on a big pile of blankets before.
But then it stood up, so.
Yeah, that's true. That one was real. If it doesn't do something like that, But we've had them wave at us before, stand up. I'm really excited to use this piece of equipment more.
This is our video camera, which was another one of Sammy's presents. This actually has infrared technology in it to where we can use night vision. And we got it on Amazon. It's a pretty good little camera. This is our proximity ghost. It works kind of like your EMF readers, your REM pods, that kind of stuff. Let me see if I can figure.
Touch his butt.
This is our proximity ghost. Works kind of like a REM pod. When something gets near it, goes off. We've only ever had this actually be active for us once, and that was at Hinsdale House.
Yeah.
And it was sitting right next to Sammy, so that was a little creepy.
It was sitting between me and my dad on a couch, and it went off like someone sat there.
He's cute, though, and I love him.
Next, we have our REM pod. We have a standard REM pod that is going off because I am touching it. But it works very similarly.
I wasn't sure if I could.
We have had a lot of great activity with the REM pod. Some pretty scary activity, like it's singing happy birthday with us using it. It answers questions on command. It's been really great in certain locations. But some locations it doesn't work at all. So.
But we've gotten other activity. It's just.
Yeah.
Depends on the ghost. These are our handy dandy dowsing rods. If we are not getting a lot of activity with our more advanced equipment, we'll whip these out because maybe the spirits don't like all the, electricity and all that. So we whip these out and sometimes we have some really good conversations with them.
Yeah. These used to be used to find water. People would, back in the olden days, would use them to point to sources of water. And so if we're near water, we try not to use them very much because they typically just point to the river. But we do get some good activity. And I do think that sometimes spirits might resonate with that a little bit better because they recognize it.
Right.
If they're an older spirit.
This piece of equipment never lasts long, I swear.
No, this is our laser grid pointer. It's really helpful to see if something passes through the lights. So we'll set it up pointing at a wall. And if the dots are moving, if you see something cross in front of the dots, it's a lot easier to see than if you're trying to just stare in the dark looking for a shadow. So it's really cool, but it only has a battery life of like 45 minutes.
And then takes forever to charge.
Yeah.
However, this enabled me to see my first shadow figure. It was wild. Mind you, that was also my first ghost hunting trip, so. In this, we have extra SD cards. Majority of the time, one SD card gets us through, but for example, this weekend when we're doing a 2-night stay, we might actually utilize all that.
Yes. This is just a regular camera, regular digital camera.
Point and shoot.
Takes pictures. Haven't really got anything on this, but it's always fun to try sometimes. Take it back, old school ghost hunting.
This is our Chattergeist. This is kind of like a spirit box, kind of like an Ovulus. It utilizes a word bank as opposed to like a radio station.
The downside to the Chattergeist is that it has to be plugged into a power source. It doesn't have an internal battery, but it's a really cool device still. It has a Ouija setting. It has a drawing setting, a word bank, that gives you 3 to 5 words every so often.
That was all of our equipment except for our new piece that we bought last weekend at FCI Con 24.
You'll have to wait to see that piece of equipment.
All right, guys. If you made it this far, leave us a comment down below. What's your favorite piece of equipment? Is there a piece of equipment you'd like us to go more in depth on? Because it was just kind of a little overview. I do know that once we utilize the SLS camera more, we will give you guys a full review on it, but we've not been able to use it enough because it's kind of glitchy with the software setup and everything. So we're still trying to work out those bugs.
Yeah, hopefully we fix that.
Right. I'm hoping so. We, brought on our techie CJ and hopefully he was able to figure that out for us. But we'll give you guys a full review of that once we have one.
Yeah, and let us know what paranormal equipment that you use that you love. And maybe it's something we don't have and we can look into getting. Because we're always trying to be better ghost hunting professionals.
That's right. Make sure you guys, go listen to our podcast. We throw out a new podcast episode every week. Make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Splooky at Spooky Sleuths Pod. And we will catch you guys next week.
And on that note,
stay spooky, friends.